Hello, hello. I am Leo. Nice to meet you. If this comes across, wow, this is a dense energy. We are in a dense energy right now, dog. It's okay, it's alright. But the first two cards that I pulled out were the Devil and the Ten of Cards. Ten of Cards. Ten of Wands. And we also have Death. Sorry, cards. We also have Death. Being drawn to the orange energy on the Death and Ten of Wands cards. The Devil. I'm also really being drawn to, she has chains on her horns, like her mask. But there's also a broken chain to my left, maybe her right, but the chain right here. So obviously this is about breaking cycles, breaking metaphorical or even physical chains. Not necessarily that the chains themselves, the physical chains are chains, but like contracts written on paper even. This is also talking about like soul contracts, karmic stuff. I don't know, something about shorts is significant. That could be like a confirmation for someone. Treating your house like a temple, treating your body like a temple. Understanding that energy flows through your body and also through your home, and your home's like a physical extension of you. So you could be breaking generational curses around clutter trauma, which is something that I think about a lot and am actively doing myself. And from experience, it's something that comes in levels and you got to keep up with it. And say no to attracting other people's baggage. Otherwise, you could be stuck in loops cleaning up other people's messes. But when you let it sit long enough, you've let it become your mess. And so I think with the Death card, we have to accept that in order to let those phases die. But also, I'm feeling a strong sense of like, don't take on what's not yours. Regardless of whether you let it in or not. When you decide you don't want anything more to do with it, that's what you've decided, and so you move forward with that decision. There's also the Four of Swords that came out when I split the deck. You need to put this to rest in your mind. Also, something really big here about, I don't know if it's necessarily a Kundalini awakening or if it's just having to do with Kundalini energy. Dancing is hugely significant. That's one of the ways that you can move stagnant energy and also move Kundalini energy through your body. You can move it through your voice as well, through chants, mantra, song. The arts and performing are deeply significant. That's probably where you are headed. I know you're tired. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. We can't stop. We can rest. But I think that you're torturing yourself in your brain. I think that you're replaying things that have long ended. And that's the only thing that's keeping them alive. And also the like old things in your space, the old memories. Trust me, it takes one to know one. And this is something that we can move forward with as a collective. We don't need to have shame in this process. I'm not doing the tarot box. You really do need to be kinder to yourself. Dealing with these energies is not easy, especially if you've allowed yourself to like give up in your brain before and then let things go to hell, and then you come back a week later and you recognize like, oh my God, this is not how I want to live. And if you keep like going back and forth in and out of that, you really do need to be kind to yourself and understand. Like, I'm being really drawn to the death card here. It's Todoroki from My Hero. And there's fire on the bottom and ice on the top, which is really interesting because I'm hearing like heat rises. And it's raining outside, but there's something about rainfall and like with the fire melting the ice underneath. Also hearing like avalanche and iceberg, but avalanche specifically. You could have felt like these events happening in your life was an avalanche. And you're right, it was. It was a tower. Because there was a deep energy of self-sabotage. You weren't ready to handle what you were receiving because you convinced yourself you weren't ready to handle it. I need you to know that you've been ready. And you just need to give yourself like some Four of Swords energy and like to like just sit down and cultivate some peace. Draw it in towards yourself. Manipulate the energy in a positive, constructive way. Manipulate it. Tell it what to do. Tell the energy what to do. If you keep thinking all these horrible thoughts about yourself, that's what the energy is going to do around you. You're that powerful that you create your own hell. I'm feeling an intense anxiety of like, but I don't, and like, it's okay. You don't have to feel bad about it. Don't keep wallowing in it. You know? Don't keep wallowing in it. I'm being told to show the card. I'm really drawn to like the thorns on his head too, and they're mimicking like deer antlers. Jackson Wang could be significant. From God7 also, he's a solo artist, but not just also, he'd be a solo artist for real. He has his own company and everything. I feel like that's significant. There's a collective I'm talking to. You're meant to have your own company and shit in many different ways. Like, I think right now, one of the ways that you can manifest having your own company in the future is by being in your own company. Like, actually getting to know yourself, your gifts, your likes, your dislikes, what you want. That feels like that's part of the general vibe here. And in order to do that, there's got to be this depth of understanding yourself. And depth to the understanding currently that you have of your gifts. Like, allow yourself to approach your psychic gifts in a new manner. In a new manner. It don't have to be the same way that you always did it, you know? No, with the Ten of Wands underneath the Devil here, well, the way it sits in my hand. It feels like this Devil energy is a mask for self-loathing. And I'm hearing really strongly that it's projected self-loathing. Like, this was not your energy to begin with, dog. I don't say that to, like, take away any accountability you may be wanting to, like, hold for, like, be a better person. But as I say that, like, I have this weird, like, recoiling in my body of, like, you don't even need to over-explain that route. It really feels like these energies are projected self-loathing from people that were on board when you were at your best. Oof. Damn. I didn't expect that one. Wow. I'm really drawn to, like, her wing and her tail, which are, like, disconnected from her body. They're like figments of her imagination or whatever. And I can't tell if, like, they're a part of, like, this flame. I want to say smoke, but I feel like it's supposed to be flame. She's also, like, pointing at something. And also the pentacle is, like, upside down. I was gonna say it's, like, crooked, like it's, like, lopsided, but then I realized that, like, one of the points is down, and they did that because it's, like, devil. But, any hoodles. But no, disconnected. You're just disconnected from your power right now. You're disconnected from these like otherworldly aspects of you, because the devil energy is not inherently bad. It's what you choose to do with it. Because the devil energy in tarot can show up like as like addictions. I'm hearing self-doubt, hatred, which I'm pretty sure is like fear and self-doubt projected. It's really interesting to me that people view hate as like a separate emotion, when in reality I really feel like hate is not its own emotion. Like, it can turn into its own emotion, but at its core, it's like not its own emotion, and it's like way more than being a sum of its parts, I think is how I want to say that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But yeah, Four of Swords, this energy. Find some peace. I know it's way easier said than done. Way easier said than done. Trying to listen to the birds. The birds are saying, go outside. Connect with nature. It's also an integral piece of, anybody's spiritual journey. Or even just life journey. Oh, there's like tons of wisdom waiting in the trees. And trees are, can I say that? Is that fear, or is that like... Or is that someone asking me not to reveal that information? Or say it in a different way? You can have conversations with trees. This is something that like I wanted to talk about for a long minute on my channel. I wanted to talk about how that was like a big part of my practice, and also that's like where you can find... Can I share that? My body's kind of janked up right now, so it's kind of hard to tell what's fear and what's like a, whoa, hold on. Or like to my nervous system, like a little nudge will feel like, oh my God, what is going on? And so I'm not too sure what all I can and can't share, but it feels right to be able to talk about I've been seeing a lot of content of people like talking to trees and stuff and being like, hey, can we talk about how we have the ability to do this? Can we stop pretending it doesn't exist? And it's like, and it's like, yes, this is what I've been saying to myself and in my notebooks for the the past year, dog. And I've been slacking on giving the information, so everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is doing it not for me, because I still have to play my part. And that's why I'm here showing up. Page of Pentacles, baby. And Four of Swords, putting that shit to rest. The Empress! See? We shift in the energy. I bet you feel that shift. Four of Swords again. What's this card? It's the Empress again. Look at how lovely this card is. Death just keeps wanting to pop out, though. Is there more to say about this card? There's something about the way that he's dressed or like the accessories he has on his chest. I'm being told to show my tattoos right now, which is really interesting. My chest tattoos. I have 2 chest tattoos. I have this one. The bee, there's a bee. There's a bee. And I designed these tattoos, and here's the other one. The artist really did a spectacular job capturing my art style. I was vulnerable, and I feel interesting about that. This is a gun tattoo. Look at that guy. I suddenly feel imbalanced, and I don't know if I had to do with something like showing my bare chest or like... I don't know. Anyway. The Empress. Death is underneath the Empress, and we also have the Two of Cups. Knight of Pentacles. This really feels like choosing a partnership emotionally with yourself so that you are able to draw in that person if you're looking for a specific person or like a group of people. But I opened up to the Ten of Wands and the Six of Cups with that after saying that. And this is like a sore spot for somebody. I don't know if you're like pitying yourself or if you're just like really angry at yourself or you just feel like you can't move on and you're using like the I've done so many bad things or like I've fucked up too many times or like as an excuse to like stay where you are. I'm feeling like my breath was kind of taken away at first, and so it felt like someone's trying to like smack the shit out of you, like smack that shit out of you, like get that out. We are not playing that game. We are not playing that game. Like, we don't get to wreak havoc in our own nervous system and then stay there just because we feel like we deserve to be there. The universe is not going to give up on you. Also, you can't unsee what you've seen. Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands. Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups. You do deserve, like, luxury. That starts with, like, emotional luxury. Being safe and secure within yourself. Yeah, this really is about peace. Cultivating peace. Allowing peace. Peace, 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 peace. I really only wanted this video to be like 20-ish minutes long. I opened up to the Hermit and the Six of Pentacles. You're stepping your way out of Hermit mode with the Empress. Oh, the Queen of Swords. And Queen of Wands. Okay, so all of this, like, divine feminine energy is asking you to be trusting of the unknown. Trusting of divine feminine energy, which is the unknown. Oh, the world. When you trust the unknown. Ace of Wands. The Hanged Man. That's when... Oh, when you trust the unknown. Ooh, Tower. But when you trust the unknown, that's when new perspectives can come in and shift your perception of the world. Therefore, further illuminating your power with the High Priestess energy and the Queen of Pentacles, because when you align with understanding, not even understanding, but letting go of needing to understand, which is the understanding, I believe, or something like that. I could be wrong. You allow that High Priestess energy to shape your thoughts, and therefore that shapes your reality, your physical reality. Three of Cups. And that is something to celebrate. The Wheel of Fortune. That is really the energy that the world runs on. Is powerful energy like yours. So that's why it's important, Seven of Wands, to keep it to yourself in some ways, but find a healthy creative outlet, the Star, in other ways. The Ten of Wands. Otherwise, that energy can become quite burdensome feeling. Because untapped creative potential, it's literally lions, tigers, bears. High Priestess energy as confirmation. Nine of Cups. It's untapped emotional energy that must be expressed. Otherwise, it will turn into despair. It will turn into sorrow. It will turn into depression. The opposite of depression is expression. The world again. And also Seven of Pentacles. The world needs you. Oh, the sun. The world needs you. My guy. The world really does need you. Truthfully. You are the sun. Y'all watch One Piece? We got a bunch of Luffys out here. Makes me kind of emotional, honestly. But we got a bunch of Luffys out here. You see that? Me too. Takes one to know one. Oh, I'm hearing someone be like, but I'm more like Zoro. Okay, we got Zoros out here. We got Sanjis. We got Choppas. We got Knight of Cups. We got Robin. This is not Robin. This is Midnight, but the dark hair and the like. This is also about sensual energy, which is creative energy. Someone's feeling really emotional, but also doesn't want me to talk about that. You're like, no, don't mention it. I won't. Oh, that's so funny. I can't believe it. I thought that this was a blunt in his hand. It is. Oh, but hey, he's eating the sun in this. This guy's name is Sun Eater. To the person that didn't want me to acknowledge their emotional energy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am very sorry. Because I can feel that, like, when... Yeah, it didn't feel pleasant. So, that's my bad. I cannot record the whole video for that. I can maybe cut that piece out. But also, like... Damn! I'm drawn to his feet. I'm pretty sure that we got some grounding to do out here, baby. And his left eye being in flames. The left side is the feminine side. Or like the receiving side. So it's actually really fascinating that his left eye is the one with the flame. fire typically denotes like a more masculine energy. I'm also feeling like hanged man of like, it's all about your perspective, dog, baby. Something about his outfit is significant. Take a look at that. Ignore that bum-ass energy that just tried to fly in. Oh my gosh. Chopsticks. We got the Emperor underneath, which is Endeavor, and is like all fire. Maybe doing a ritual with fire would be helpful, and water. Changing the way you eat. Oh. Purifying your food before you eat with intention. I'm hearing the lyrics. Chasing the sun, walk in the rain. There's a new day. Chasing the sun, walk in the rain. Here's the sun card. She is holding the moon in her hands. And she's focused very lovingly on the moon. It might be the earth. I think it is actually the earth, and then the tinier orb is the, yeah, it's I never noticed this until now, but it's the earth, and then I think it's our moon. Nutrition in all senses of like what you're consuming is really important. And with Stain's energy, it feels like it is talking about like modern day events for some reason. That's an interesting turn. My readings don't usually touch on that stuff. Here's the moon. I'm starting to feel very discombobulated now. Hold on, let's see if I can bring it back on track. I think it's important to note that I don't think everyone's like this, because I think it has something to do with your human design as well. Ooh, I got the devil energy. But I think it's overall helpful common knowledge, or like helpful to know that like with your psychic gifts, your stomach is your second brain, and also not just your psychic gifts, but like your stomach is directly connected to your brain health and your memory, I believe. And it's also connected to a lot of things. A lot of things. I mean, yeah, it's connected to your entire stinking body. But what you eat really does have the power the word I was going to use was dictate, to kind of like dictate the vibes that you're going to be in. I have Wands upside down, 6 of Wands upright, Temperance and Knight of Swords. Okay, so again with the fire energy, Wands is fire. It feels like you just have this enormous amount of passion and creativity that for some of you may feel like it's not there. Oh, pulled up the Fool talking about this, that if there's someone that has an enormous amount of creativity and passion, it's the Fool, baby. 7 of Cups. You may be overwhelmed with like all the choices that you have, 6 of Swords, but it's okay to move forward not knowing fully what you want to pick. I think you just have to pick one, though. Page of Cups. He has 1 cup in his hand. I think that's the answer, is you just got to pick one. You just got to pick a cup and stick with it. 5 of Wands. Okay. Is that saying that that mentality leads to conflict, or are you afraid that sticking with one thing will lead to conflict? 10 of Cups and the Tower. Oh. That's interesting. What do you mean 10 of Cups and the Tower? Okay. Well, first off, Spirit, let's get some clear guidance on 10 of Swords. Is sticking to one thing the answer? Like, just pick one and stick with it. I feel like we could actually give better advice than that. I feel like that might work for someone. 10 of Pentacles. Temperance. Okay, so someone's creative projects needs balance. It needs to be, like, narrowed down. 6 of Pentacles. The Hermit. But thinking about narrowing it down makes you feel like you're shrinking yourself. But that's the thing, is you start with one thing, and then, like, think about it being like a giant cup, like a really, really, really big cup, or even like a medium-sized cup, or like the size of like a cereal bowl or something. Like that's a big cup. Or no, they're actually showing me like Dita Von Teese and her champagne glasses. That's the goal, baby. That's the goal. Especially like, I don't want to say like, especially at her age, but like, I think it's really fascinating that I think she's in her 50s. Or is she in her 30s? I'm so sorry if I like aged her up and she didn't want to be aged up, but I personally don't hold views of like, oh, she's in her 50s. That's crazy. There was this, I think I just got knocked off course by venturing into that instead of staying on topic. Hold on. Got me all confused as hell now. But, and this is the same energy of like with your creative projects. They need to be boiled down. They need to be narrowed down. And start with one thing, because when you eventually fill up that cup with the skill and the emotional fulfillment that you have gathered from said cup, naturally, you're going to need more cups to catch the overfill. and the overflow of the liquid that is now pouring from your original cup. So you got to start with 1 cup. I'm hearing, and it takes the longest to fill up the first cup, because that's like your first time doing that. And I'm seeing an interesting scene of like playing out of how some of us on the timeline or this collective have self-sabotaged, and like your cup was like halfway filled up with what you want, with where you wanted to be, where you wanted to go. And then as soon as like certain people left, or like you made certain mistakes that allowed these people to leave, you poured your cup out everywhere, and some of you like shattered the glass. Real. I'm hearing Cinderella by EXO. Oh, Cinderella, na 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 na, na na, Cinderella, na 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 na. That's not the right key. Na na na, Cinderella, na na na, na na na, Cinderella, na 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 na. Oh, the glass slipper breaking. And then I'm just seeing, oh my god, I'm seeing the scene in Cinderella where the glass slipper shatters. And everyone's like, oh my god. And Cinderella is like, what do we do? Like, she has that moment of like, oh, that's awful. But then, because it's okay to mourn. But the thing about that scene is that Cinderella, the entire time, had the other glass slipper. She had the whole time. Regardless of what the others thought of her, regardless of what anyone else knew about her, she knew. She had the slipper. And I'm trying to pick up on if it's like, because at first I was seeing like, I was kind of interpreting it as like your guides pulling out the glass slipper, but no, they want you to know that you have it. You are the one with the glass slipper. You are Cinderella. Deeply itchy nose for confirmation. Itchy nose like a mouse. You could be really close with animals, especially woodland animals. Don't mind how I look, I'm just deep in channel now. There's a fly just like flew by so close to my head. Holy shit. Like, oh my god, hello. Being a dancer is really significant here. Some about y'all two shadow dance, but you are bomb ass dancers. But you think you look stupid. I just like dropped all of the cards. You may feel fumbly or like panicky or like when you finally get the opportunity to like show your stuff. You like lose all your confidence. You become like a noodle. I say that knowing how it feels. You become a noodle when you're in front of people nowadays. But it wasn't like that when you were a kid necessarily. Or even as a teenager.